Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are reviewing Brent Faiyaz's newest project, Icon. I am a huge fan of this record, but before we get into that, I want to tell y'all to subscribe or I'm going to whoop up on you, I'm going to beat on you. If you don't subscribe, you better lock your door because I will come and you are going to know why I'm there because I'm going to whoop up on you and be like, subscribe, motherfucker. Anyway, I am a huge fan of this record. I am a huge fan of Brent Faiyaz. I've always been a big fan of Brent Faiyaz. Ever since the beginning of his career, I remember when me and my aunts were on the beach trip and they would play, what's that song called? Crap. It's Gang Over Love from the Sonder Project. I love that. His favorite album of mine is probably between Fuck the World and Into, that album he has as like the Sonder group. That one is impeccable. Probably one of the very few perfect albums in my opinion. Not there's more than a few, but a perfect album in my opinion. Icon is not perfect, but it is pretty good. Honestly, I think it's doing really good because its only real problem that stops it from being perfect is it's too short. This is a 10-track album. If I would include the deluxe edition in this ranking, or in this review, I should say, then it would have two extra bonus songs that are also really good that would probably help this out and bump it up from what I have it up one to almost like even closer to perfect. It would still be too short, but I mean, it's two really good songs that I replay all the time. From beginning to end, this album production, his voice, the lyrics, the everything, the vibe you are getting is perfect. This album it manages to be interesting enough, even though it is only 10 songs, you are along for the ride the whole 10 songs. It is 10 songs, 33 minutes, so all the songs are pretty long. The only like short one is the intro White Noise, which isn't even really a song, it's more of an it's putting you into the vibe of the album. It is a push into the feeling, what you're gonna like, the noise. It's literally called white noise. It's just it's the what's the word? The atmosphere setter, the vibe setter for what this album's gonna sound like and what it is. I think it does a really good job at that. Into Wrong Faces, which is really good. I love Brent's voice on here. The song, is it World Is Yours, has such a good sample on it that I love, and I think his voice almost sounds like his natural voice without any like real autotune. Not that he uses that much in the first place, but those are highlights for me. Four Seasons is one of my favorite songs of the year. I love it. It sounds so good. This album, when I first listened to it, was not one of my favorites. It actually kind of disappointed me a little bit. But the more I've re-listened to songs from here, and the more I've re-listened to the album itself, it has grown on me significantly. I really love Icon. The production does this weird, like it almost kind of weekend inspired with a type of 80s ish sound to it, but not like all the way with it. It's in kind of this in between ground that sounds amazing. This is probably off the top of my head, probably the best produced Brent Faiyaz project that we have got our hands on. It is really good, and his voice manages to go so well over them. There is no additional voices on this project, and I think that is a good decision. I think that makes it feel more personal to Brent. And yeah, a lot of his lyrics are talking about women and the women in his fame, but I think he does it in a way that doesn't get stale. That doesn't, that can feel relatable a little bit to some people. Maybe not necessarily to me because I'm a lover boy, but that doesn't mean I can't enjoy the album and what I'm listening to. I think it sounds amazing. What else do I got on my notes? Sorry. Songs are engaging and manage to keep your attention. Like I said, a lot of these, you've got 3.5 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute songs. That might be kind of hard to hold the listener's attention for that long, and Brent manages to do it. I think I think this is his most mature sounding sonically. They're like, everything is like, nips. You get sonically, like the actual sound of it, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't believe so. Like I said, the only main problem for this album is that it's too short. I think it's very replayable. I replay Four Seasons, World Is Yours, Strangers a lot. The deluxe two songs, even though, like I said, those aren't included in the review, those two songs are really good too, and I replay those probably more than I replay the normal songs on here. I think Vanilla Sky is a really good outro to the project, one of the more personal Brent Faiyaz songs, and another one that I listen to quite frequently. Oh, sorry. Wow, I just had like a crazy, like, chill that just shocked my whole brain. I don't even know what happened there. Wow. Uh, sorry. Brent's voice on this album, I know I just said it earlier, but it genuinely sounds incredible. Like, he has probably, out of any artist that I've ever listened to, his voice is like second to The Weeknd, probably. And like, maybe it's for sure top five. I'd have to like sit down and think of it. Off the top of my head, I can only think of like The Weeknd having a better sounding voice than him. His voice is impeccable, and I think that alone is what like makes this so good, and like the emotion he's putting into every single song. You can tell every song was, everything in it is intentional, and I think that is one of the benefits of having less songs, because it makes them feel better. You can tell that this was definitely like, I've got 10 tracks that I really love. I can't put these other two on here because those are for the deluxe and that'll boost streams, but these 10 I love. I've got a complete idea here. And then you can tell that's what got pushed out. He didn't have a complete idea, you know, vinyl doesn't have half the songs on it because the rest of them were put in too late because he just wanted to shove out more streams and stuff. This is 10 very complete songs. And I think that that makes the album so good. Personally, I give this album an 8 out of 10. Like I said, I don't think it's necessarily perfect. There are a couple parts here where maybe I lose just a little bit of interest, or I'm like, maybe we should move on to the next song. But by the time I was at the end of the album, I didn't want it to end yet. It was a really good, like, I don't want to say journey because it's not like that deep, but it's a good personable experience, if that makes sense. Almost feels like Brent, you're Brent's therapist a little bit, and I think that does a lot for an album and how you could feel about it. And like, I don't know, just I think this is the album where you feel like you know Brent the most a little bit. You're getting to know him the most, and I think that that improves the listening experience a lot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think 8 out of 10 sounds good. Subscribe, or I'm like, God, dude, I'm telling you, I swear, I'm gonna beat your ass.